Hey everybody, it's Tia with Black Petal Gardening, and unfortunately, we really don't have a huge kitchen. It's a decent size, but we don't have an island. We don't have a ton of space. So our chest freezer that we have inside tends to be where a lot of things kind of congregate, which is not great because, of course, once you want to get in there, then you have to rearrange everything. But that's really kind of here nor there. It's just kind of an explanation as to why we're over here and why you can see all of this stuff. If you watched previous videos of ours, and particularly the tomato trimming video, you know that this was fortunately, kind of depends on how this goes, the results of having to trim a pretty significant part of our tangled up tomato vines and stuff like that. What I'm gonna do now is I want to take all the ones that are definitely green with no hints of blush or anything like that, put them in this lovely bag here. Oil and Vinegar, not a sponsor. And then I'm going to put this banana in here. I don't know if this is really the best way to go about this, but I have watched multiple videos, so it's not just based on one, that have advised you can help the maturing process, the reddening process, the blushing, whatever you want to call it, process along by putting your tomatoes that are not quite ripe together, and they have an off gas called, I think it's called ethylene, something close to that, and that is really what helps them move from that green to yellow to orange to red stage. The other piece of that was, there in multiple videos was a suggestion of putting, fruit in there, like an apple or banana, because those also off gas that, and that will, kind of build up that particular compound and, make it potentially go faster. What I'm not 100% sure is if the fact that this has definitely kind of gotten to its end, or closer to the end life, if this is really the best one. I mean, normally what I'd be doing is chucking this into the freezer for banana bread. We do have some other bananas that are not at this stage of ripening, and I just feel like with it being this ripe, it's going to be off-gassing more, but maybe I should put one of the lesser ripe ones in there for this particular process. I think, I think that's what I'm going to do. But first, we are going to go ahead and get these put into a bag. Hopefully this bag is big enough, because what I don't want is to have issues with the weight of the tomatoes, crushing them and then creating issues with where we'll get mold and all of that. But I will bring you back after I have at least filled this bag. If I need to get another one, then I'll get another one, and we'll go from there. Okay, quick peek. As you can see, I did grab all the larger of the green ones. I am going to go ahead and then put these small cherry tomatoes on top, because I want to avoid this issue that we have right over here. These have been out just in this thing on the back porch 4 days, maybe 3 days. I'll be honest, I can't remember what day I did the actual trimming. And so, the weight, clearly it made this pop, and it was already, fairly ripe, not 100% ripe, but fairly ripe. So, it made it susceptible. So I'm gonna get the green ones in, and then I think ones that are like this, where there's, it's kind of in the yellow stage, not necessarily this orange stage, and definitely not in the redder stages. I think I'm gonna put those on top, even though they are bigger and potentially heavier, And my thought being, these are in the process of ripening. So again, maybe that ethylene, or I really wish I could remember the exact chemical that they mentioned. Maybe those are off-gassing those significantly, and that will help the ripening process for the rest of these. Okay, well, I'll be honest, now that we're here, I'm really wondering if this is going to work or if this is just going to be too packed full, because the idea is you kind of close this up and I'm not going to be able to see what's going on down at the bottom. This may be a bad way of going about this. I'm going to leave it. And I guess I'm gonna check these like every couple of days, every couple to few days, just because I want to be really careful that I'm not creating a situation where things get super ripe or even partially ripe down at the bottom. And again, the weight creates some problems. I will go get the banana and I will just put it on the top, and we'll just keep this on the counter so I can kind of keep an eye on it. These ones down here, I'm just going to go and put them in a bowl where we have other tomatoes that are in a similar stage of ripening so that they can all ripen together. I fully admit now that I'm at this stage that I'm just kind of double, second guessing myself. So what I'll say is, if you guys have feedback, if you have other suggestions on how I should handle the bulk of these, with the intent to get them to a ripened stage, please leave a comment, let me know, because I'm already at that, I think this may not work, or it's not going to work the way I want it to stage. That said, I am also very prepared for this just not to work in principle. That maybe my thought process on these is incorrect because they are so unripe. I mean, a lot of these are not necessarily at their 100% form. Some of them were pulled pretty early because we had pulled the branches. So maybe they're not even at a point where the tomato itself would have the potential to ripen. We're gonna see. So that's where we're at. Let me know what you think, and I will keep some updates on how things go, whether it goes well or goes poorly, so you guys can follow along. Okay, so we are back many weeks after we did that initial trimming, and though we have a few additions to what's on this tray, most of these reddened, orangey colored tomatoes are the ones that started out completely green and have over time ripened. These are those big ones. You can see that they're only just getting some red on them. The other side looks like this. If we bring that really close, you can see that they've started to wrinkle up due to age. And that is don't mind this, we were making pizzas and Scott got some flour all over the place. Hey kitty. That whole wrinkling thing, we see it here as well. I don't know, there you can kind of see it on the smaller ones. So what the end conclusion, hey Percy, how you doing, kid? Anyway, what the end conclusion is yes, even if you knock a whole bunch of very unripe tomatoes off while you're doing your hey kid, doing your harvest, you can put them out, give them time, and they will ripen. The downside is the amount of time it takes obviously depends on how unripe they are, and you may not want to hold them that long. They do start to get kind of wrinkly and old. I think the taste of them are fine. But yeah, so it's kind of up to you as to whether it's worth it or not. I'm of the opinion that depending on how vigorous your garden is, it probably isn't worth trying to save those. What do you think, Purse? Yeah? You think we should save? Okay, your claws hurt, buddy. Yeah, I know, you want me to pet you, but your claws hurt. So that's my opinion. That's what the conclusion I've come to. Your mileage may vary, but it is doable. Alrighty. Thank you for watching and seeing, what the end result of our experiment was. If you have any feedback, please drop it into the comments. Of course, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you another day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.